Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening, good evening, good evening. You guys already know the deal. We're going to wait a couple minutes, and then we're going to start for today. We already got a viewer. Yes. Yes, we got someone in here. We got two. I'm so excited. We got 6. That's what I'm talking about. You guys know the deal. Please, guys, if you're tuning in with us right now, do me a favor and share the page. Go ahead and tag someone in the comment section so that anyone you feel should know this information has the opportunity to hear it, all right? A minute and 30 seconds, and we will begin. We're at 16 viewers. Can we get to 25? We're at 17 and 4 likes. If all 17 of you all can like the post, that way we can break Facebook's algorithm and it can push us up to where we need to be. That would be awesome. We lost a viewer. What happened? I don't know. We got a special guest tonight. We got 2 special guests tonight. I'm excited for you guys to meet them. If you are just tuning in or you're watching this on replay, we're going to be talking about some interesting things tonight, a different kind of presentation than what we normally do. We're going to bring in some experts, and they're going to share their gifts and talents with us tonight. So please, if you're watching this, go ahead and like the post. Go ahead and share it. Go ahead and tag someone in the comment section. That way, with more eyes are on this video, which will lead to Facebook pushing it out further. Knowledge is power, ladies and gentlemen. All right, we got 50 seconds. 50 seconds. All right. We got everything situated. Tonight's going to be a good night. Today's going to be fun. You guys are going to learn something today. All right, we got 20 seconds, and then we're going to get it in, ladies and gentlemen. Ten, 9, 8, I can't count, but we're going to start right now. Ready? Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for being here tonight. You literally could have been anywhere else in the world, but you're here with me tonight, 2 nights in a row. Give yourselves a round of applause. 6 o'clock, you're probably eating dinner or something like that, but we got some important information for you all tonight. We have 2 special guests, my co-workers. They're going to come in here today and they're going to talk with you guys. We're going to have a nice little conversation. Think of it as like a fireside chat without the fire or the side or anything. We're just going to be talking. You guys are going to be watching. So I would like to introduce first one of my faves from the office, one of my co-workers. I want to introduce you guys Nicole, who is our Director of Communications. We're going to bring her in right now. Everyone say, what's up, Nicole? And then our next guest, someone super special to the office. She does I'll let her say what she does. She does all the crazy things, guys. We're going to have Angelina, who is our Director of Digital Marketing. Yes, you saw her yesterday, actually, for 2 seconds. All right, guys. Oh, we already got some questions. We're going to do questions in a little bit, guys. You guys know the deal. You guys know how we get down. We're going to go over our presentation, and we will do a Q&A at the very end. I promise. But I'm going to turn it over to you, Nicole. Good evening.
Good evening. Thank you so much, Hector. And I'm excited and a little bit nervous, so please, everyone, be patient with me. I'm not as experienced as Hector is in this stuff. But what we want to share with you guys is real estate data and reassessment data all about Worth Township. So ever since Assessor Katie started last year, we've been posting township reports every single time we reassess a township. And these reports have all kinds of real estate information about changes in the real estate market and assessments, even down to the neighborhood level. So we wanted to just make sure that people knew that was out there. We wanted to give this specifically to property owners in Worth, especially you, Hector. I learned recently that you actually live in Worth, right?
Yes, and I have my reassessment notice. Let me cover my address. My reassessment notice right here. So I definitely got some questions, but I'm gonna let you do your thing, and then we're gonna dialogue back and forth.
Awesome. All right, so first, I'll show everyone on our website where you can all of the reports that I'm talking about. So if you go to cookcountyassessor.com, there's a community data tab, and right under there, you'll see a section called valuation reports. So if you click on that, you can see all the valuation reports that our office has posted. So you can scroll down and see these. So what I'll do today is I'm actually going to give you kind of a condensed version of the Township report for Worth. And Hector, I think this would be more fun if it was a conversation. Feel free to jump in with questions that you have. These things are 30 pages or something, because they're meant to be just kind of read online. You got your cup of tea, just read it by yourself. So it's not really meant to be like a presentation. So I'll kind of skip forward a couple of times. But feel free to jump in with questions.
For sure. I already have one. Yeah, I already have one. And maybe you can answer this, or maybe we can direct people on how they can figure this information out. But I know that I just got my reassessment notice, and I'm happy. But I want to know, or where can I check to see if COVID-19 had anything to do with my reassessment? Where on the website would I go for that, or who would I contact? Can I do this on Facebook?
That is part of the presentation, actually.
Look at that.
I'll tell you right off the bat, if you are a homeowner, so you have a single family home or a condo or a small apartment, and you live in Worth, then your property assessment has been adjusted for the estimated effects of COVID-19. So if you have that notice, it's already built in. You don't have to do anything to receive it.
Thank you. My wife's going to ask me, and I got to have an answer. Otherwise, it's going to be a problem, and I don't want any problems.
I'm glad she's doing good, too.
Yeah.
All right. Can I show you some data all about where you live?
Yeah, for sure.
Awesome.
I just moved here, so this is exciting for me.
Cool. Well, you can tell me all the kinds of things that you want to see in these reports. And actually, at the end of the session, I have a little survey that I'd love for people to fill out and give us feedback on how we did. So this is just kind of an experiment. We're not sure if people want to get this nerdy into the data, but here we go.
Knowledge is power, guys.
All right, so it should be showing. Are you guys seeing a different slide up there? There we go. All right,
yes.
Small delay. Okay. All right, so you should be seeing a slide. It's got a whole lot of text on there, but I just want to break it down for you real quick. The basic idea is that new estimated fair market value on that reassessment notice you got in the mail is based on two things. First, we estimated the value of your home as if it would have sold in January 2020. Does that kind of make sense?
Yes. No, for sure.
Okay, so we use all kinds of information about sales of similar homes, and then we say, okay, maybe your home didn't sell, but if it did, here's what we think it would have sold for. And then we adjusted that value with this COVID-19 adjustment. And we got that value by combining a whole bunch of data. We estimated unemployment in neighborhoods in Worth, and we used that to adjust property values. So I'll get into that a little bit later.
And that's that's the red part of the presentation, correct?
Yep, exactly. So
Beautiful.
That's here. So I'll get to that later, but all I really wanted to point out was, your sales estimate minus your COVID adjustment equals that value on your notice. So here's kind of a little bit of data to give you a little more to work with here. So the median and starting estimate of the value of a single family home, again, that's based on sales. We get these sales from 2015 through the end of 2019. The median estimated value was about $196,000. Again, that's just the median. Every home is different, right? So your home might have had a different estimated value at the beginning of 2020.
I'm doing the math right now. And no, it equaled out. This equation you got right here definitely equals what I have here. So
see, and you're better at math than me. You've explained the senior freeze to me like 20 times.
it's all good.
Okay.
All good.
So there's that kind of initial value, and then in this red section here, this was the median COVID-19 adjustment to home. So we said, okay, if your home was worth 196 grand, knock off 10.7% to get this estimated value. And again, that is the value that is printed on the notice that you have in your hand.
Bam. Beautiful, beautiful.
So
this
in the
is the slide you got to explain. Yeah.
What's that?
So this is the slide I like how you explain. Every time I try to explain it, I get all jumbled up. So you go ahead and do that.
I just try to use fewer words and more pictures. So this slide just kind of walks through for each home. First, we use data about sales of similar homes nearby, so in and around that neighborhood, and we use those sales patterns to estimate the value of your home. And then at stage 2, we apply that COVID adjustment. And this is just to kind of show people, or to make a little more clear that we use all kinds of sales information, but it really depends on the real estate market. Okay, this next slide, I'm going to kind of breeze through a little bit because it's a little bit dense. And I want to make sure that we're respectful of people's time.
For sure.
So in these township reports, and again, we post these for every single township. So for anyone following along, if you don't live in Worth, but your township has been reassessed by our office, you can download a report and get all this kind of information about where you live.
And it's on our website on the homepage, correct?
It's on cookcountyassessor.com under community data. You can go to valuation reports. So these are all of our valuation reports.
And the link is actually on the screen right now. If anyone wants to screenshot it or write it down or type it on their phone or however you're doing it, it's right there. Actually, I'm going to add it to the comment section as well.
See, that's why we need you, man. So I actually didn't know this. I didn't know that based on the number of PINs or property index numbers, Worth is the second largest township in the south and west suburbs. I knew it was big, but there's a lot of people in Worth.
Makes sense.
Yeah. So by our count, it has over 40,000 single-family homes, over 12,000 residential condos. So these are people who live in their condos, and just under 2,000 small apartments.
Wow.
Yeah. And this kind of summary slide shows, I like to provide information like, the most common type of single-family home. And in Worth, it was a one-story residence, about 1,000 to 1,800 square feet. Just FYI, this category does include 1.5-story homes.
I'm about to say I'm in there.
Oh, yeah? Okay, there you go. And on the summary slide, we like to provide information about the 2020 median assessed value, or the median estimated fair market value in 2020. We also provide that same number for 2017. So this is what it was in the last reassessment. And then the median change. So the median change was -2%.
Which, for people who may not get what's happening right now, that means your value went down. That's what that means.
Yeah. All right. And just to give a little property tax 101, the assessor's office does have legal obligations for these property reassessments.
Absolutely.
One of the things that I'll go through is that property assessments must be uniform. There's something called an assessed value that so if you have your reassessment notice in front of you, you'll see your estimated fair market value and then your assessed value. And for homeowners, it's always 10% of your fair market value. We reassess properties at least every 3 years. So in 2020, the office is reassessing properties in the south and west suburbs. So that means the last time that most properties were reassessed in Worth was 2017. And the next time most properties will be reassessed is in 2023. And just an important note, and this is a really confusing thing. So I'm kind of new to all this, and it took me probably a good week to understand really. If you're in Worth and you receive a reassessment notice this year, that won't have any effect on your property tax bill until next summer.
Yes.
And it's really confusing because you just got this notice and then now you probably just got your bill too. But the bill that you get in 2020 is for tax year 2019. Think of it as like filing your taxes, right?
Mhm.
It's got this delay in it. So same thing with property taxes. So your assessed value this year won't affect your property tax bills until next summer.
Next
So
year.
clear that one up. But that's why we have this slide, because we get this question a lot.
And Nicole, for those who are new to this whole thing, we pay our taxes 1 year behind. There's a lot of different rumors on why, but the one that's appropriate for me to share here is that during the Great Depression, everything was closed, everything was down, everything was canceled, kind of like during COVID. And then going forward, they were supposed to catch back up, but they never caught up. So from the Great Depression till today, we're a year behind. And I want to say we're one of the only counties that does that. But I don't want to. We might have to fact check that, but
Huh, I had no idea that was why. See, I learn something every time I talk to you.
There's other rumors, but we can't talk about it on Facebook.
All right, and this just shows, again, there's that notice you have in front of you. Okay, let's get to some data. All right, so I'm really excited to share with people are actual real estate data from Worth. So here's what we saw for you, Hector. In Worth, overall, the number of properties that sold in each year from 2015 to 2019 has been pretty steady. It's been about 4-8% of properties, nice and steady. Some townships, that might not be the case. And actually, I should be specific. This slide right here is about single family homes. If you have a condo or a multifamily home, hold up, I got you. It'll just be at the end of the presentation. Okay, so on the left, we've got number of properties sold. And then on the right, we have the median sale price. And again, this is from 2015 to 2019, because this is the actual data that we use when we estimate the value of your home. And so what we've seen in Worth is actual sale values of these 4% of homes that have sold have kind of had this steady increase over the last couple of years.
Yeah.
Such that in 2019, the median sale value, again, of a home that sold was about $196,000. And what we have, these little dashed lines are here. I'm going to unpack this. Here we go. These dashed lines show kind of the range of the middle 50% of all the homes. So of all these, 1,000 or so, maybe 1,700, Hector, I can't math, 1,700 homes in Worth that sold, of them, about 50% of them sold for a value that is in between these two dashed lines. So, there's kind of a range, right? Because not every single home sold for 196. Every home sale is a little bit different, right? Because every home is different.
Can I jump in real quick?
Of course.
So for everyone watching right now, I know that you see the median sale price, and you see that in 2015 it was a little bit over 150, and now it's really close to 200,000. And you might be saying, "Whoa, that's a lot." But please take into consideration that from 2012, 13-ish, all the way to 2016, what was happening to the housing market in Cook County? It was crashing, right? So everyone's value was decreasing, and everyone got accustomed to the lower value, when in reality, that was the value due to what was happening to the housing market. In 18, 19, and 20, homes are starting to go back to what they were before the market crash. So though this may seem, hey guys, it's not adding up, what's going on? Actually, what's happening is these are going back to what they were before the market crashed. So I just wanted to point that out here for people who are looking at these numbers saying, wait a minute, what's going on?
Yeah, property values are going back up.
Sure.
Is what we're seeing. Again, these are actual sales.
Yes.
All right. I wanted to skip ahead and show this graph, which is these are the estimated market values of all of the homes in Worth, estimated by our office. So that last slide was just about, let's look at that little snapshot of just those homes that sold. But at the assessor's office, we have to reassess every single home. So this is the graph that shows that. And this one is, I'll break it down a little bit. So in 2020, this is the estimated market value of a home in Worth, and it's about 171. And again, we have that triennial reassessment cycle thing, right? So that means Worth was last reassessed in 2017. And at that time, these same properties were assessed at a slightly higher value. So the estimated market values by the assessor's office have actually gone down in 2020 compared to 2017.
That's legit. I bought my home in 2016, so this math is right. I'm looking like, what's going on here?
Cool. A question that I get sometimes is, what's going on with this 2018, 2019 stuff? Because remember what we just see, property values went up, or property values, actual sales went up, right, in those years. But again, remember, triennial reassessment, we only reassess every 3 years. So any changes in these years are due to things like appeals or stuff like that. So that's why it's always kind of flat in these years between the reassessment years. That's also why these dots are big. That's the year of reassessment. Okay, there's a slide here that kind of goes over a comparison of sales and a comparison of market values. Basically, upshot of this slide, let's look at actual sales in the year before reassessment. So 2016 to 2019, sale prices, so property values, actual property values in the sales that transacted went up by a median of 16%. But over about the same 3-year duration, when our office was reassessing, the median percent change actually went down by -2%. So that's kind of what the summary slide means. Any question before I get into Worth's neighborhoods? Because we got some neighborhood specific data that I want to share.
Yeah, fun fact. A lot of people think that, so when we explain tax rates, we always say each township has its own specific tax rate depending on, well, Worth has many different tax rates inside of it because it has many different neighborhoods in it. Neighborhood codes, not neighborhoods like blocks, neighborhood codes. So I'm sure you're going to go into that right now. Dang. Where am I at? Let me see. Neighborhood 210.
Yeah, so actually, if you want to show people on your reassessment notice, it's got this neighborhood code thing.
Right there.
But even if you don't, hopefully you can kind of find yourself on the map.
Yeah, I'm number 210. Don't come looking for me.
All right, I want to speed through this real quick because it's already 6:22 and I want to make sure we're respecting people's time. So you're in, sorry, you said 210?
210, yep, right there.
Okay, I'm going to show you, Hector, for you, I'm going to show you information about your neighborhood.
Awesome.
Including COVID adjustments. So again, the upshot is we estimated unemployment rates, changes in unemployment rates throughout Worth Township. And we did it per neighborhood. And then we use those numbers to produce COVID adjustments to property values, to estimated property values. So your neighborhood saw higher unemployment rates, then your neighborhood also saw a larger COVID reduction in the assessed value. Okay, so next in these reports, there's like tables and tables of stuff. I'm just going to skip through and find neighborhood code 210, which is right here.
Yeah, and if people want this information, they can go straight to our website. They can go to the links that are posted in the comments section. So this is good.
Yep. All right, and so if you want to look up information specific to your neighborhood, you can right here. And so for you, Hector, the median 2019 fair market value was 159, and in 2020 it's 159,330. So it looks like your neighborhood might have gone up by like 0.2%. But again, that's just a median, right? Every home is different.
Yeah.
So yeah, and again, the reassessment of each home depends on the data that we have about that home. So if our data about something like your square footage is incorrect, then the estimated value of your home is also not going to reflect maybe what it should be.
That makes sense.
Okay, so in this giant table of all the things, I also provide a little bit of market information. So in your neighborhood, we saw 62 sales of single property homes, which is a pretty good number. We have median sale prices, and I want to unpack. Oh, sorry, and here's your COVID adjustment. Minus 10.9%.
Yes.
And I just want to unpack this thing called a sales ratio. This is something that I want to explain better, maybe in next year's reports or something. So our office holds itself to some pretty high standards, and we actually analyze the accuracy of our reassessments. And we do that by comparing the estimated values to a home to what it actually sold for. So the sales ratio does exactly that. So it says, okay, what did a home actually sell for, and what did it get reassessed for? So if we reassessed a home and estimate its value at 100 grand, and it actually sold for 100 grand recently, then our ratio would be 1.0, would be bang on. That's obviously pretty rare. It's kind of hard to do that. So this ratio says basically our estimated market value of a home is about 99.2% of the actual of an actual sale value.
Yeah.
So our estimated value is a little bit under where these actual sales values were.
Yep.
Okay. I kind of went through that a little quick, but I just wanted to quickly shout out that in previous that there's other information here. We hold ourselves to some pretty high standards for uniformity. That's just like really nerdy stuff. But basically what it means is like there's the international, my God, what does IAAO stand for? The International Association of Assessing Officers. This is like the world standard for the assessment, right? So it's like you got to have quality standards, and we hold ourselves to that really high standard. And we actually hold ourselves to 3 of these standards, and we try to meet them. In the modeling that we do, when we look at at a township, and we reassess the homes in that township, we run, probably dozens, hundreds of different models, and we try to find the best one based on these really high standards. So for anyone who like really wants to geek out about that, that's here. I'll save that for questions if people want to go in there. But I just wanted to shout out that in the appendix of these reports, so I want to get back to y'all who have condos. If you have a condo building or a small multifamily building with like 2 to 6 units, we have data in here for you. It's kind of at the back because the majority of homeowners own single family homes, but it was important to me to provide data for everyone. So if you have a condo, here's what we saw in Worth. So a slightly higher percentage of properties selling for condos. Sale prices have also gone up. Condo prices overall are a little bit lower than single family homes, but that's pretty standard. But, again, we see that recovery you're talking about, Hector. We see that in condos too.
Mm-hmm.
We also have neighborhood data, and then we have same kind of information for multifamily sales. So that pretty much covers all I wanted to go over. Should we?
Jeffrey Pring says you're doing a great job. This is fascinating and complicated, but you're doing great.
I am so nervous. Let's get into questions.
Let's jump into these questions.
Do we have any listeners left? Have I scared them away?
No, yes, we have 25 listeners. We have 14 hearts. How long do you have to live in your home to be eligible for the senior freezes? Very great question. Okay, let's keep it simple. You have to own and occupy the property 2 consecutive January 1s. That means, we're going to use this year as pretend. You had to own and occupy a January 1, 2018, and own and occupy January 1, 2019. So if you fit that, and obviously there's more, can't make more than $65,000 as a total household income gross. You must have been born in 1954 or before. So if you meet these requirements, then you can definitely take advantage of the senior freeze exemption. The Worth Township assessor gave you a shout out, Nicole.
Oh, yay. They're here.
Good job. Nicole's one of our best guys. So definitely, and it's on YouTube. It's a YouTube comment. That means they're really paying attention. If anyone has any, she went away. But if anyone has any questions from Worth, you could definitely contact our office or your Worth Township Assessor's office. Their information is right here. So if you want to take a second, we're going to leave it on the screen. You can screenshot it. You can write these numbers down, or you just rewind the video if you're watching it on replay. Fun fact: I used to work in that building a long time ago when I was here as a child.
For real? That's awesome.
Yeah, Priscilla Cepeda, our coworker, salute. Very important information. Thank you. Thank you for tuning in, guys. Dr. Paris Davis, good evening, Nicole. Nicole, you're a celebrity. Do you see this? What's next? What we got? We got like 5 more minutes. Priscilla, thank you.
While we still have people, if you want to take more questions, Hector, but I'd love to hear feedback. So this is kind of an experiment. Like, we don't know if people want to like get super into this kind of data and stuff. But if there is a link to a survey, and we'd love to hear your thoughts, what you want more of, what you want less of, thoughts about not just the presentation, but the actual report. And what we're also doing is we're trying to find ways to provide more information to homeowners specifically about your home.
For sure.
And that's really hard to do in these kinds of reports. So we're actually looking for a group of people, just Cook County homeowners throughout the entire county, to join a focus group with us and help us figure out what you guys want to see. So there's a link to the survey there.
It's on the screen right now as well.
Yep. Please take it.
So, Nicole, I think, I've been doing these for forever and a day. And I think this has been one of the most, and I'm just saying this because you're my friend, but I think this has been one of the most informative ones. And I do think that we should do this again with, so like 4 weeks ago, 5 weeks ago, we had a question come in. Hey, would you guys ever do these types of presentations to real estate attorneys, tax attorneys, all those kinds of people who are in the industry, but on the other side? And I think these are the kinds of presentations that they would love to like dig their hands into, because they have the data that they're always requesting or trying to understand. And you did it in a way that it was super easy to follow. So I definitely think, no cap, I'm for real, I really think that this would be really good for those kinds of people and homeowners and whoever else wants to be interested, but them specifically, because this is the kind of data they use and they need all the time.
Awesome. Yeah. I mean, I joined this office to do exactly this, provide more data to people. So it's really exciting.
Any other questions, guys? All right. Oh, Teresa, another coworker. How you doing? So Nicole, you wanna usher them out? You want me to usher them out? You wanna?
Oh man, that is all you. I can't replace you, Hector.
Stop. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is always my favorite time of the night, the Q&A portion, the time where we kind of get a little intimate and answer the questions that you may not want to ask other people or you're not quite sure about. So thank you guys for tuning in. Let's give Nicole a round of applause. Let's give Angelina a round of applause.
Yes.
And we want to thank you guys. You literally could have been anywhere else in the world. Thank you guys so much. Let us know in the comments if you want something else like this. We've already covered exemptions. We've already covered appeals. We're going to be continuing our coverage on certificate of heirs. We have data now, and we're going to be, putting these in every week in English and in Spanish. Shout out to Priscilla Cepeda. So you let us know, guys. Let us know what you want. Thank you guys for being here. Please stay wise. Please stay safe. And above all else, please stay blessed. We love you guys. Thank you. You guys have a great night.
This is so much fun. Thanks, everyone. And happy 4th.